right, getting back. What we're grabbing here?
Upstart or duo? I guess upstart, right? That's rough.
Got it. Yeah. That's not the one you want to get.
John Wick could lose next turn very easy. He could lose to Ring right
Ring
now.
destruction. Yeah, Ring is very possible a game breaker right now.
Oh my gosh, and he has it.
I'm sick.
Ugh.
I am absolutely sick.
Congratulations
I am floored.
to Shogun Lopez.
Devastated, completely leveled. Oh my god. What? Yu-Gi-Oh! Man. What is up, Goat World? It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you with another Goat Format video. On Sunday the 17th, the Premium World Championship Qualifier has concluded, and we have a new champion. It was a crazy event. It was a very stacked event from top to bottom. There was a whole pool of talented players. 44 players showed up, but there can only be one. There can only be one winner. And with me today, I have that winner in the house. I have none other than on the phone, Mr. Shogun Lopez, winner of Premium World Championship Qualifier number 19. What's up, man? How you doing? How you feeling? Thank you for coming on to the program. Please let the GOAT world know about you and yourself, and introduce yourself for just a brief moment.
Hey everyone, my name's David Lopez. I am a duelist out from Arizona. Big fan of playing GOAT format. I'm getting better and better at it. This was my first Patreon I've ever participated in, and I got the dub. Funny because my first GOAT format championship I played, I also won that. GOAT format championship 14. Both of these events, it weirds me out because I didn't practice for any of them. It was always a last minute thing. GOAT format, I just happened to be off that day. I was supposed to work, but they let me have the day off, so I had nothing to do. So I was like, I'll just play. I wasn't expecting much from it, but I just ended up winning the whole thing. And then for Patreon this past weekend, my very good friend Joey Aguirre, he goes by The Sauce, not in a bad way, but peer pressured me into playing, since again I wasn't doing anything, but I was like not really feeling like, I go through those weeks of like not really feeling like playing, and then I go into those weeks where I want to play so much GOAT. Got on the website, saw like what was hot, what was topping, and I noticed there was a lot of GOAT control, a lot more GOAT decks, and I've been seeing a lot of burn decks as well. I already knew like what my core was, and then I always have about a few spots with some wiggle room. So the main thing was for me was practicing with creating the best side deck for myself.
Okay.
For the event.
I mean, that's always a part of it, man. But you said you won a GFC. I had no idea you won a GFC. We got a whole champion in the building, man. I didn't know that, man. I got to do my research. I'm a terrible host, so we got a GFC champion. Please accept my most humble apologies, for not giving you the correct titles that you deserve, because I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I thought you just came on the scene like a dynamo, but we got a whole two-time in the building right now. Two-time.
You're talking about the 2 times back to back.
So
double champ.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So when did you first start playing GOAT format? How long you been playing?
So I've been following the game since Metal Raiders came out.
Okay.
And what's crazy is that I remember, I was in 7th grade when my cousin slept over. I remember I went to go make some breakfast. I came back and he was watching this Yu-Gi-Oh show, and I remember it was Bakura playing, I don't know what, but I remember he flipped Morphine Jar, and I thought the animation was so cool. I was like, oh damn, that jar looks dope. But I watched it, I enjoyed it a lot, and I didn't think anything of it. And then over the summer, we went to a gas station, to Circle K. I'm not sure, that's a big thing in Arizona. It's a gas station. Yeah. And they had Metal Raider packs on the counter. I was like, oh, I didn't know they made these cards. So I asked my mom to buy me a pack, and I pulled a Secret Rare 1000 Dragon.
Come on, man.
First edition. Yeah, and I still have that card to this day, and it's like my most valuable card I have, because one thing, like, my mom bought me, that was the only pack she's ever bought me in my life.
And you pulled a secret. Look at that. 1 for 1.
I pulled 1000 Dragon.
Dude, that's sick, man.
So I was like, yeah, so it just went from there. And then I remember a couple weeks later, we went to Kmart back when it was still around, and I saw the Yugi deck and the Kaiba deck, and then I saw that, the cover had Blue Eyes. I was like, oh my God, that's the Blue Eyes card they talk about on the show. Oh my God, that's a Dark Magician card they talk about a show. And I remember my dad bought me those 2 decks, and I just felt invincible, bro. I didn't understand how to play the game at that point, because
no one does.
I would only know from the show. It was until my uncle for my birthday bought me the Game Boy Advance game.
What is that?
And
What was
everything I
that?
thought,
Was that Stairway to the Destined Duel or that Forbidden Memory? Which one was that came on the Game Boy? I can't remember.
honestly, I don't know. I remember it came with Skull Dice and Graceful Dice.
Ah, yeah, that one is. I want to say that's Forbidden Memories. I could be wrong. I'll put it right here. Whatever it is, I can't. Forbidden Memories or Stairways. I think it was Forbidden Memories. That game was super cool. I remember that one. The Battle City one.
It was so much fun. But everything I knew about Yu-Gi-Oh was everything I saw on the show, and it was nothing like that. But over time, like I understood how the game worked, and I essentially taught myself how to play. And then when I was in school, I didn't know anybody else knew of Yu-Gi-Oh until I saw other kids trading like at lunch, and I was like, oh, I have some of those cards. And it just from there, I met other people that told me about locals, and that's when it all started. My first event ever was Shonen Jump Phoenix. That was actually here in Phoenix, and that was when Perfect Circle was like the deck when maliciouses were like super expensive, Destiny draws, and this is where I knew how to play the game, but I did not know how mechanics worked. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're still just kind of in the casual scene. You roll up to a Shonen Jump, which was the premier event of the time, and then you just you're way behind the power curve because you're just super casual. You're going to get clipped off on those things.
Yeah,
People take it real serious in those.
Yeah, and I was so hyped because I love this game so much at that time, and I remember I used to go to the Barnes and Nobles and get the new Yu-Gi-Oh Beckett. This is no disrespect to Del Bolito at all.
Oh man!
But I remember he won. I want to say Shonen Jump Chicago with Tomato Control. And me looking at that list, I'm like, that's trash. I'll smoke that guy whenever. So I was like, how are these people winning with this deck? This looks awful. But at that time, I didn't know any better.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm pretty sure if you guys want to set that up, you bring your deck and he brings his deck from that event. Y'all can make that happen. He still exists. Shout out to Del Bolito. He's still around this game. So you might wanna watch out.
To be honest with you, dude, I've known Del for over 10 years. He's a very humble, very sweet guy. He's never been obnoxious or been a diva about anything. He's always been super humble.
Yeah, but still,
I have a lot of respect for that guy.
We can set that up. That could be the future match. But we gotta talk about this event. We gotta talk about this match, this tournament. So you showed up to this Patreon. You got peer pressured by the Sauce. Shout out to the Sauce as well. Another fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh player. He gets you into this event, and you decided to bring the patent pending Warrior strategy. So let's go ahead and pull that deck list up right here. Here is the deck that Shogun took to this event. It is the Warrior strategy. Okay, so real quick before you go into the deck profile, can you talk about what made you decide to bring Warriors to this event? I know these Patreon or these Premium World Championship qualifier events are usually very helmet centric. A lot of Warrior players show up. What made you decide to go with the Warrior strategy today or for this event? And would you change anything based on how it performed?
I started playing Warriors, I want to say about a year ago, and then it came to the point where I just started grinding with them, and that I got a lot of inspiration from watching LaBounty and Moxie's play this deck.
Okay.
And I've just seen the replays. They almost looked invincible. Like some of the plays, I was just like, how are they pulling this off? This deck's so good. It's so aggressive. I myself enjoy. I've always been like an anti-meta player, and I like that this deck has that, but it can also push very aggressively. Whereas when I used to play control decks, I love a GOAT deck, but I don't like those games where like Thousand Eyes Restrict lock both of us, and there's like tokens everywhere. There's a random face-down monster there. There's Force Spell Trap card. I just want to go through the game. Maybe I'm gonna win or I'm gonna lose.
And just get it nice and quick and easy. You know what I'm saying? Just get it. Just go in, pound, and get it done. And that's kind of Warriors in a nutshell, man. Those games can go so fast and so quick, and like when you're grinding, especially these longer events and on the ladder, that can kind of be to your benefit as well. Because if you're playing, 20-minute matches, and I'm as a control player and I'm playing hour-and-a-half matches, my fatigue level is gonna expire a lot sooner than yours, so that might be something to that as well.
And whenever I see those kinds of matches, like people just look stressed, and I'm talking about like people I've seen play like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I flew out to Texas for the Texas Grand Prix last month, which I got second in, and just watching the mirror matches of like Turbo or like Goat Control, all those people just look miserable.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. You
I
did.
love
Oh man, I am not doing my research at all. I knew you went out there. I knew you did well. I had Ryan Spicer come on after he won, and I knew you did well. You brought Warriors to that event as well. Man, shout out to you. You are a
Yeah.
fantastic player. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man, I'm really committed. When I saw that, I was like, that's not far from me at all. I booked everything that same day I found out about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good time. I honestly hated the venue, but it was a good time. There's like a lot of cool people, and you meet these people. They're not. It's not anything like you play online.
Yeah.
You don't get like no hateful messages afterwards. But you know how people are, how they act online.
Oh yeah,
as opposed to
it's so it can be so toxic sometimes. And if you're out there watching these videos and you're playing Duel and Book online and you're making it toxic, cut it. I agree with you. Playing in person is so much better. I also will be attending the GOAT Grand Prix in Philly coming up on August 27th. So if you're in the Philly area, make sure you swing by. It's still some slots available. Get into that. But I know exactly what you mean, man. It's a mess sometimes. All right, so you got this deck again. I see I see your ratios are pretty standard. I don't see nothing really jumps off the table too much. It's pretty straightforward warrior strategy. You got the 2 Sasuke's in there. You got the 15 monsters, which is, I guess, the magic between 14 and 16 is kind of where you want to be in these warrior decks. But you got I noticed you got the triple trap dust shoot in there. How did that treat you in this event? I know a lot of the warrior players I've been watching, like you said, SDLs and the low bounties of the world. They've been kind of kicking down the trap dust shoot amounts just for the mirror match anticipation, and also it just kind of late game turbo players setting their whole hands now. How did that trap dust shoot treat you this event? Would you consider dropping it down, or did you like it at 3?
I don't think I ever want to take dust shoot out of any warrior deck I make moving forward.
Okay.
After GOAT Format Championship 17, it was SD Killer that won the event.
Mm-hmm.
He used no dust shoots, but he went really heavy on 3 Sekuretsus and the 2 widespreads and 3 Ninja.
Right.
And that was what I thought like was a even more aggressive warrior deck. And I used a variation of that at Texas, and I liked it. But I feel like I could have won the whole thing had I had dust shoot. I mean, just looking at your opponent's hand, it changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And as much as I hate top decking dust shoot, I rather have the chances of drawing it going first or second. If I can just look at your hand, my chances increase exponentially by just knowing what's in your hand and how to play around, whatever, when to attack, what not to attack with. Right. So I love dust shoot, but I also hate it at the same time.
And just and just sometimes in that turbo matchup, which I know this deck is designed to defeat, but sometimes stuff just get out of hand so fast, and a dust shoot at the right time, send that light monster back, or you send that dark monster back, or you send their only normal summon back, and now they're jammed up with chaos monsters, and then you got Kaiko coming down, and then it just spirals out of control so fast for them. So it can break the game sometimes, but also I've seen it, man, just sink the ship sometimes too, man.
Yeah, it's bad, and there's been times where I kind of wish I didn't see your hand because it's so good. It's like, this game's not going for it. I'm not gonna survive this, but I'm gonna try my best to hang in there.
I mean, you had some pretty good game. You had some pretty dope games. I watched some of them when we were on the stream. The main 40, you're sticking with that. You kind of like how that performed for you. Any cards you would switch out of that before we jump to the side deck? So,
not really. Everything's pretty standard except the very last 3 cards, which is the Tribe, the Dust Tornado, and the Sakuretsu armor.
Mm-hmm.
I do see people switch on and off with Sakuretsu. For the most part, I see averages about 2 each. Sometimes 3, or sometimes it maybe even 1 or none. I do know that theory. Like, I felt that theory of like not needing, because who's attacking your Kaikus and your Blade Knights? Everybody's mostly setting.
Right.
And they're kind of a dead card going first, because if you're summoning a monster, it's really rare to have something to attack it over with. So it's kind of dead. But when you don't have a monster, they keep you in the game. They keep you from dying, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I do know, I think Chaos Turbo is the best deck of the format. Right. I would love to master it eventually. I'm okay with the deck. I feel confident in grinding with that deck, like on ladder. But when it comes to these tournaments and the concentrated player base of like hardcore GOAT members, I cannot beat the Ivan Rositos.
Right.
I can't beat the Sauce. I can't beat the Ghost Riders or the Chaos Turbo Masters. Like I know they're gonna outplay me like super easily, and I just don't want to go through that.
So why? Yeah, just head yourself and put yourself in a position. This deck can go. I mean, like you said, when you get the real upper echelons of the top the top turbo players, I think the Warrior deck is at a slight deficit now because they've kind of streamlined that strategy to kind of counteract the counteraction. You know, the anti-meta is what the whole Warrior deck is supposed to be, but now they've kind of anti-meta the anti-meta, and it's a really hard matchup to face, especially when you're playing someone that's extremely talented. I mean, I think it can win. It can still win, obviously, and you've proven that. You've had some great success this season so far. And historically, this deck has been doing great. There are a lot of Warrior decks in the top tables of this event as well. A lot of Warrior players showed up to this one. All right, so
it's just a deck I'm most comfortable with. Mm-hmm. If I do end up losing a match, I don't feel as bad because I feel like I did what I could with what I had. Instead of like having other high ceiling decks where like I could have done this or I should have done that. Again, it's just a pretty straightforward strategy, and I feel the most confident with this deck. If I'm walking around and someone pulls up on me trying to duel me for all my star chips, this is the deck I'll be turning to immediately.
This is your battle city, and with this deck, huh? You go, okay, I feel you.
Hey, I'm pulling up with the Warriors.
That's what's up. But let's go ahead. Let's jump over to the side, man. So I see you got the Gorillas in there. You got the Wangoos in there. So a lot of times people like to add more battle traps, like you mentioned earlier. They leave some out. You elected to go with the more aggressive style, just bringing in more beaters. You want to talk about that a little bit? Let us know what your game plan was with the side.
So essentially, the reason why I ran, so I guess I can just do it in packages.
Yeah.
And I should have sorted that before, but certain cards are for certain decks, obviously. Mm-hmm. If I were to play Burn, I decided in the 2 Gorilla, the 2 Mobius, and the 2 Mystic Walks, and the Dust Tornado.
No Wangoos. You're not bringing Wangoos in for Burn?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Only because if they summon Panda, it doesn't die.
Yeah.
Because it automatically comes out with that attack. I see it can be good, but I'd rather walk my Gorilla to gain 2K.
Okay. Yeah, Gorilla. I never would have considered Gorilla. But another benefit of Gorilla as well is like when you get Ojama locked, which inevitably does happen sometimes, you can just pop them and get them out of there. And that's pretty smart. Okay.
And then it creates as big as it is, it's just another thing you contribute off from Mobius.
So I see a lot of Warrior players are starting to adopt the Gravekeeper Spy coming in the side for that particular reason. They bring the spies in, they bring the Mobius in. That way you got this wall that can just sit there. So you kind of use the Gorilla for that same purpose.
And not using spies was another strategy of mine because I feel like I see it in every single Warrior deck list.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I play other people, they expect me to side into spies, so they'll keep the noblemans in.
Really?
I just don't put them in, period.
Now you got to deal with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your burn package. No Wangu is wild. Because I think Wangu might be good against the Ojamas and stuff, but at the same time that may start throwing off your ratios a little bit. You have way too many Earth monsters in there, so that could be something to that as well.
Yeah, no, and Aaron, you're not the only one that told me that Wangu. I see it. I feel better going a different route. I'd rather just go off with the walk. Wangu is solid, but that was I think the deck I hate losing to the most is a burn deck.
I think everyone hates losing burn. I hate losing burn. I don't know
how many matches, how many games. Person is literally top decking. I'm up like 7-6 cards, and it takes one Secret Barrel. It takes one Just Desserts.
One Des Koala or something. And
something. It's very emotionally damaging. But also, one of my other favorite cards was Cliff, the Trap Remover. He's one of my favorite cards. I was actually maining him for a while, but I decided to take him out for Tribe because I was seeing a lot of GOAT decks, so I wanted Tribe to be in there, and Tribe was MVP, and I really think I'm going to make him a staple. Okay. Just how the meta's been lately with obviously with the Spice, but I've seen a rise in a lot of GOAT control decks, and he's just MVP.
Just clearing him up, and you got the Wangoos coming in the Book of Moon, so game 2 you're going to have a nice hedge for the GOAT decks.
Yeah, and then I used the Wang Hus and the Book of Moons. I sided those in against any GOAT deck, and especially Chaos Control decks, just because that Metamorphosis is killer.
But let's talk about this spicy little treat you got here over on the side, man. Whoa. What made that is such a good call. I love this card. I've thought about using this card. I just don't have the stones to pull it off, man. Royal Command coming in. When you flip this thing over, I was in the stream, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he did it. What a madman.
Next turn. Royal
Yikes.
Command. Okay.
Yikes. Love to see it. Spice alert. Well. You've been spiced. Royal Command. Royal Command. Tell me about it. What made you go with this card? And how effective was it? Please let us know.
To be very honest, I saw it. The only time I saw it was in the grand finals.
Oh, really? Okay.
I studied it in a lot, but I never drew it.
Okay.
So in testing though, before this event, I was grinding on an alternate account, and it was just amazing. Negating Night Assailants, graveyard effects. Flipping over, I would hit a spy, they wouldn't get their other spy. And then I just had people just try to like play Book of Moon, torrential their own things. I'm like, this doesn't work like skill drain.
Yeah.
It just negates the monster's effect.
You're done. Like, you can't activate it, and it doesn't. Yeah, it's because it says both. Like, it says negate the activation and the effect. Like there's no residual stuff. It's just gone. You know.
Yeah. And it doesn't cost anything. It's free. You just flip it up. And it throws a lot of people off because a lot of people think that it has to be face up before you flip the monster, but it doesn't have to do that. As opposed to like Royal Oppression, we get to like essentially soften it before they special summon whatever. But Royal Command in testing, it was amazing. I cited it a lot, but I didn't see it up until the grand finals, and I hit a Magician of Faith.
I saw that.
I was gonna go for the pot of greed. Like it was pretty good. I think I ended up losing that game anyways, but I lost a lot, like less worse, I guess.
You actually gave yourself a fighting chance. You know what I'm saying? You try to persevere a little bit, and it just got away from you. Shout out to John Wick, man. He had an incredible run in that event as well. So that's
he did.
So that's the side. I mean, it seems pretty solid. I love the Royal Command. I love the spice. I mean, you kind of did your thing in the main. You kind of did your thing in the side. Was there anything that you would change? Any card you hated that just sucked that you want to get out of there, that you wouldn't run again, or is this pretty solid in the side as well?
I think the next thing I'd probably take out is the 2 Gorilla and 1 Mobius. As much as I love Mobius, drawing 2 opening is just the worst.
Okay.
Especially when it was such a low monster count, it's hard to get him off sometimes. The times he does, it's been, in my experience, it's been like 1 card. It's been rare I hit 2 cards and something doesn't go off, if that makes sense.
Everything's so tangible, everything's moving.
Yeah, exactly. I love the card, but not in this deck. Unless I'm playing the spy package, which I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did draw them, and they were kind of dead.
The Mobius card,
yeah. So and the Gorillas were solid. That's another card that I cited in a couple times, but I never saw it. I can use those for like other things.
I like it. I like the deck. I also enjoy playing some Warriors from time to time. I'm like the opposite. I play Warriors when I need to like decompress from playing, control. 'Cause I want to bring Go Control back. That's one of my missions in life. I love playing Go Control. So I will load up some Warriors when I need to just kind of, stand down from that for a little while. But I might need to start doing it more because this seems pretty solid. It's a very solid deck. There's always going to be some Warrior players at the top tables, and I want to be like you. I want to be a champion too at some point. So tell me, if you're watching it, tell me what you think about the deck. Do you wear the helmet? Are you a Warrior player? What would you change? How you like the Shogun's deck? And tell me what you think about it. Make sure you guys get into the comment section below. But Shogun, please let's talk about your tournament experience, man, and just tell me real quick about some of the stuff and how it all went. How'd your event go? I know you were 6-0 undefeated all the way to the grand finals. You lost to John Wick at the end, and then he had to double beat you. And then you finished him off, man. So is any other highlights or something that you can remember specifically from that event? And how did your Patreon 19 go?
There's 2 things that were very memorable in my, I guess, the early rounds. My first round was against Mr. Big Noodle, which he was playing Burn. And again, no disrespect to anyone, but that was the easiest match I had just because I had everything.
Yeah.
And everything went through, and it was a quick win. Round 2 versus Silver Dude, that's actually a game where I should have lost,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like he punted pretty bad, like very, very bad. Game 3, he special summoned BLS. I had a face-up Blade Knight, a Wanghu, and a face-down monster. He had a face-down scapegoat and a set-down metamorphosis. Had he just kept that BLS in attack, he would have won that game. Had he just, you know, banished my face-down monster, which was an exiled force, he would have won because at that point, my Wanghu and Blade Knight do nothing against BLS. But instead, he banished the Wanghu to make his scapegoat alive. But not even just that, he then metamorphoses the BLS into Gatling Dragon.
Oh no, I already know where this is going. I already know where this is going. I've seen this song too many times.
And in my head, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm literally sitting down. I'm like, well, I lost this one. And he just, again, no disrespect, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, thank you. And to make matters worse, his Gatling Dragon misses the coin tosses.
All tails, triple tails.
I flipped exiled, pop it, and then I just continue to attack for game. But it was a game I had lost. I still don't know why he even just First of all, he should have banished my face-down monster because that was the only threat. Wanghu and Blade Knight, forget it. There weren't a threat. I didn't have any back row, nothing.
Dang,
so
man.
I still don't know why he banished my Wanghu.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
hey, I can't talk crap about somebody in these tournament settings, man. Sometimes, you know, you get tunnel vision, you get hyper focused on stuff, and you kind of outplay your own self. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, you know. So,
and again, I don't want to come off as like being negative, but that's one of the times where I was like, whoa, I can't believe like that really happened. Like, I should have not won that game. So that's a memory that like really stuck in my head. I'm like, I really pulled that off by someone else's mistake. I do want to give out shout out to Krebs619.
okay.
He's one of the people I look up to in terms of warrior decks because he's one of my inspirations to even play the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to play him in the Swiss in the early rounds, and the semifinals of the winner side, and to me, that was like my final boss because there's been countless times I lose to him, and he's one person that I want to be as good, if not better. He's dope. One of like the people that I just want to be at his level, have the recognition he has. I don't care if I'm better, but I want to be as good. If that makes sense.
That's dope, man. Shout out to Krebs, and shout out to SDL, man. Those are two fantastic warrior players. And
they're good people. And one of my favorite games was that third game because in my head I did a solemn play that played out perfectly just like it was supposed to. I went first. I had heavy solemn. I had other cards that I can just set a bunch of cards. So I was like, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna set the solemn and hopes he sets more than 2 cards. So sure enough, he sets a monster, sets 3. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna heavy. Hopefully he solemns, so I can solemn it and wipe the whole back row. That's exactly what happened, and essentially the match was just downhill for him after that. So that was like a play that just like in my head, I'm like, I hope this goes through, and it just played out perfectly how I wanted it to.
That's part of it too. Having a plan and executing. I think that's that's what you got to do, man. Especially when you're playing against those when you're playing against those dope players. You know, you can't just be out there flapping all willy nilly. You know, you got to have something kind of figured out, and then hopefully it works out. Just send it. So we talk with going to the grand finals, man. So you're undefeated. You're in the grand finals. You're playing against John Wick, who's just playing like a man possessed. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants this invite bad. You know, he wants to get another one. He wants to win obviously. And he had a gamut to get through to get to you. You guys play that first match and he wins. Just talk to us about how that feels. You got this whole thing in the palm of your hands, and you got this guy coming from the loser side. He beat you that first match. Just talk about how, because it looked like you were tilting it a little bit. Because I was in the booth, I saw it. It looks like just being straight up. It looked like you were tilting a little bit. It looked like you were kind of getting off your game a little bit. Just talk to us about that whole experience, man, and how you were feeling as that whole thing was unraveling.
Yeah. So grand finals. This is the first time me playing on the winner side. The only times I ever seen these kinds of brackets was these kinds of like playouts were like in that big gaming tournaments, the Evos.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first time aside from the GFC where I was from the losers bracket, and I was playing Art Sony in the finals, and he had won JFC 13. So had he won GFC 14, it would have been the first time back-to-back champion.
You're talking about the two-time back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled up the upset, according to the commentators in the community, because I just 4-0'd him. And that was a cool experience, winning just 2 sets, just run through it, pretty much.
Right. So you saw it from the other side as the underdog coming in, upsetting the winner side from the loser side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're on the winner side, trying to stop that from happening.
Exactly. And then I had to play John Wick in the finals of the winner side, where I also won 2-0, and it was a pretty quick match.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were on point with me playing emotionally, because I was just trying to get it over with and just win. I kept telling myself, I have 4 lives. That's great odds. Like, how many times am I able to go first? I just need to go. And I was playing pretty recklessly. I ran into some mirror forces and like a really bad torrential tribute. It hurt. And then it was a bit crushing. The very first game we played in our grand finals, he opened the stone. Dragon, Charity, Pot, Duo, Upstart. That was insane. And I went back and watched the whole grand finals. I don't know I think the only game he didn't open Pop was our very last game of those 2 matches.
I mean,
but
I think again, that's what separates a lot of, to be on your guys' level. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of players, they'll see the opposition getting all these good cards and they'll just start folding, man. They'll start folding, and then woe is me will come in, all the dread and doubt, and then you'll just blow it. But you got to stay calm. Hey, this guy's got to beat me 4 times, and I can just kind of just stay calm, and then I can make it happen. And you made it happen.
And the first match was pretty brutal. Like, he told me really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say I was tilted. I was more disappointed, and I kept telling myself to control yourself, because I'll tell you, my heart was racing.
Mm-hmm.
I was sweating. I was literally like jittery, and I was like, I can't believe I'm letting this happen. Going into the final match, he wins the rock paper scissors. Immediately I'm like, Jesus, if he starts doing Trinity stuff, I'm just like, unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
And had he pulled it off, congrats to him, because that's, again, the odds weren't with him. But when I won that first game, it gave me just a big relief. I'm like, okay, I'm still in this. And game 2, he pulled it off, and game 3, it happened so fast.
Yeah, that was a lightning bolt.
Yeah, so fun fact, game 3 of that match, if you watch the game in normal speed, I paused before I used Ring of Destruction, because I was about to pass my turn, because at that point I was so hyper focused on like what my monsters were and his hand count. I forgot he had Solemn Judgment, and I forgot that one of my monsters hit directly, and I forgot that I had Ring Down to begin with. So as I'm pulling my mouse to hit end phase, I hit my back row and it showed Ring of the. I was like, oh wait, I set this last turn. So I was like, oh my god. I stood up, I clicked it, and I was like, thank God, because I almost just fumbled this so bad, because maybe I could have used it this turn, but what if he just had that book of me?
Yeah, that would have been so terrible.
That would look like the silliest person ever, and I would have never let myself down for that. So, like, again, like, when you see the normal speed, there's a quiet pause, because I'm like, all right, well, my hand isn't the best. He's Solemn Judgment, my duo, so he must have really great cards. But I was like, oh, wait, he's very long. What? Ring.
Game.
And that was it.
Dude, that's so sick, man. What ring for game, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty sick. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed seeing all those matches and seeing it come down to the wire. And I'm glad you won, man. I'm so happy for you. So what is next? What is next for the Shogun to come to as the GOAT world turns, man? You got this one in the bag. Are you playing GFC 18?
Yeah, I'm gonna plan on playing. I do need to make some fixes on the main. So yeah,
keep your secrets. Don't spoil your new strategy yet, because you might have some competition watching these videos. So GFC. Yeah, so GFC 18 is going to be Saturday, or it's going to be happening Saturday. More information is going to be on the website. I'll post the information right here. Saturday at noon. Registrations are open right now, so make sure you are signed up. It's going to be a huge event. $250 for the winner, or for the prize pool. If you want to donate, I'm sure there's a way you can donate to make that larger. So Shogun will be there. I'm going to be there. And you should be there too. Hey man, I really appreciate it. Any other before we close this thing down and sign off. Is there any other shout outs you want to give to Goat World or anyone else that may be watching this video?
Shout out to Team Bones. Shout out to my mentor and good friend Joey. We're from the same city, and I first started playing goats with his twin brother. I don't know if you know that he's a twin brother.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a twin. His brother's name is Jesse, and me and Jesse used to grind goats all the time. And Joey would appear every now and then, but he got really into it. Mm-hmm. And then Jesse just went off and played Magic the Gathering.
Get him back. Get all the sauces, every barbecue sauce, secret sauce. Get all the sauces back, twin sauces, and and come on back in. Tell him to put the Magic up and get back into some goats.
Yeah, we're trying, but he's really hooked on Magic. But okay. I mean, he's enjoying himself, so we'll see. But if Jesse keeps me in the loop of it, Joey, the sauce, keeps me in the loop of everything, because I'm not good with the Discord stuff. I'll be honest, I turn off the notifications, so
okay.
I don't keep up with, if it's not on goatformat.com, I don't know the Obelisk, I don't know the format library ones, I don't know these Patrons, I don't know these, like, other tournaments that go on. I have no clue. It's Joey that tells me, hey, are you going to play it at this tournament? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. Go ahead and stay tuned to this page here on the goatformat.com YouTube page. I'll be putting all that information out. Go to the goatformat.com website. All the information is going to be on there, and we're going to make sure you're playing, because if lack of information is the only reason you're not playing, then we're going to go ahead and fix that right away, because we're going to make sure the information is out. We need the dope players in the game. So that's a easy fix, man. That's an easy fix.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody who takes the time to congratulate me, and let's try to do better as a community and not be so negative about each other. I'm just not someone that likes all that stuff, all the trolling and all the negative talk. Like, I just want to build relationships, have fun with people, talk Yu-Gi-Oh, get better, make better decks, and just keep it positive. I'm not really big with the negative, but I'm also not gonna let myself get talked down to. If that makes sense.
You heard it from the champ, folks. You know, spread love, peace, and positivity in all of your ways that you do. I appreciate it, Shogun. Thank you so much, man, for coming by. I know it's a last minute thing, and doing that people really want to hear what you got to say, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
For taking the time to do that. But hopefully, you know what I'm saying, maybe if you win another one, we can come and do this again, because I want to keep this happening, man. We can make this a reality.
I will for sure win more events.
All right, Mr. Shogun. I will see you the next time. That was Shogun Lopez coming in, talking to you guys about his tournament experience, his warrior deck, his warrior strategy, and how he made it to the top. So tell me what you think about his deck. Tell me what you think about playing Warriors. Tell me what you think about playing in these events. Are you going to play in these events? Make sure you let us know. Get into the comment section below. Just talk to me. Let me know what you think about it. But as always, I'm JDZ. I play Ghosts. To the next time. Shout out to the real ones. Salute to the OGs. Peace.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.